The last flower in this collection is the Love in the Mist. It's one of my favorites. I came across it when I was doing a show in the UK, and it was just beautiful. Comes in several colors. The blue is most striking, but white and magenta, the shades of pink, and actually even a periwinkle and a almost I would say a light purple, not too dark, but it's going to be one that you'll love making. So you have, it'll be 3 layers. So you're going to cut 2 of the largest petal and 1 of the smaller. And then you've got the setup for the stamen or with 2 of this shape and 1 of the one you roll. The leaves are feathery, fern-like, and I'll show you how to create them. But you want to have at least 2 to 3 per flower, just because it is said that they create a mist around the flowers. So hence the name. So let's get started with some coloring. So I'm going to do this one in blues. And I've got just 2 colors here, and just like I do when I'm adding 2 colors, I put them together so you can, take your olives apart. So I'm using B0.2 and B0.3. But like I said, you can do them in pink and magenta, different shades of blue to an almost periwinkle and purple, as well as the white with a little bit of shading of blue to it. I hear Harper. He's roaming around, so hopefully he'll keep his tail out of my workspace. See how easy it is to flip around and color these. Now, the interesting thing is they do have a definite, almost, I don't really call it a stem line, but a definite definition down the center of the flower. And I'll show you how I create that in a second. So get this all colored. Nice shading, maybe a little bit more blue here. Okay, now on to shaping. So I'm going to put them on my leaf pad, and this is face down. I'm just going to do a line right down the center as if you were doing this on a leaf, like a stem line. And the same goes for the little 6-petal flower here. Then I'm going to accentuate that. Somebody asked me to always say what the Arteza was. This is A205. Doesn't have a color name, just A205 if you're doing the blues. And then I'm going to do, I've already done that one. Okay. Now they'll go face down on your workspace. We'll get them off of the pad here. And I'm going to spritz these with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to take my tweezers. And the first thing I'm going to do, again, just like I do with the leaves, I'm going to bend them back so you're really creasing that line. And you'll do this for all 3 shapes. Now, once you've creased it, then you're going to go back and bring it up and you can roll down your sides a little bit, and the ends seem to be pointed, so I'm giving it a twist to give it that point to the end. We'll do it again. So and you just keep going around, bending back up, rolling the sides, and then giving a twist with that. But you can see how you get that definition of that stem line or that line down the center. This one's done the same way. So you're first going to bend them down. And then I'm going to go back and bend it back up and give a little tweak to the end. These are a perennial, and they are pretty easy to grow in your garden. So I'm going to finish this one, then we'll start on the stigma. So I'm using G5.3, which is green bean. And I've got one end that is pretty juicy. So I'm coloring the center with that one. And then I've got one that's almost out of ink. But I like that because it's really just a lighter version, because these tips almost appear white at the end. So I'm just lightly spreading that. If you don't have one that's almost out, you can always use a white gel pen and go over it and add a little bit of white coloring. Or if you've got a zero, this is just a zero pen, and all it is alcohol in there, and it will also take out some of the color. I just happen to have this one down to almost nothing, so it gives me that light green. But either the zero pen or some white will work. And you do that the same on your roll-up of your stamens. Flip it over and all. Now some of them, like the white one, has a little bit of pink shading on its stamen. But you can find these on Google, all the different shades that they come in. So this was the 5.3. I'm going to bring my flower back in here and go ahead and cup it before I put the stamen in. So each piece gets cupped. And then I'll bring in my card. You certainly don't have to glue on the card. I like to do that on my project. I just find it's easier for me to set them in place and really seal them down. As you can see, when I set one down, I actually take either the point of my silly applicator here or the tip of my tweezer and lock it down with the glue. And this one. Okay, so I've done this one right side down and placed it on my molding mat. And then I'm just going to take the fine or the little ball stylus and press down on each one of those little round projections at the end. Just like we did on the dahlia, you know, I showed you that with the flower, how to do that and roll it up, because you see how it rolls it down. We're also going to do it on the roll-up one as well. That one just has one little ball at the end, but you don't have to cut these apart. I am going to put them back on the leaf pad here and draw a line down the center. Kind of bends them together a little bit, gives them some dimension. And I'm only doing them on these larger pieces. I won't do it on the roll-up. Okay, so on this one, you're going to hold on to the tail of the piece and get some glue here. And I'm just going to lightly brush some glue onto that bottom edge. And then you just want to roll it up tightly. Kind of twist it to seal and pull it out. On these pieces, I'm going to take the small ball stylus and cup them right in the center. Just keep pressing it up. If we bring our card back in, a little bit of glue at that peak area, and you can set it right down into your, whoops, if your tweezers let it go. And again, see how I can just press that down into the flower. Pretty simple to do. Takes a little bit of time to put the detail in it, but these aren't hard to make and will make quite a statement. So then your last little thing is your little roll-up piece, and that goes right in the center. There you go. Now, on to the leaves. And I'm not going to need this. So they're a bright green, but not too bright. So I'm using Y2.5. But if you've got a glass mat or you've got a nonstick sheet, you can scribble. This is the darker color. This is the G5.3 that I used on the centers. Pick it up and you get a blend of color. So it's not really too yellowish and it's not too green. You've seen me do this a lot of times when I'm blending colors. If I don't have quite the right shade, you can make your own. And it doesn't hurt the pen. The color will come right off with that, and you've got them colored beautifully. Now I said these were fern-like, so you are going to need your scissors. And I'm going to cut each one of these little projections in half. There was no way to make these as fine as they should be, because they never would have come out of the die if I'd gone. And I'm really cutting this one up into the stem area. You want them to look feathery and fern-like. So we're going to just even cut these little ones down at the end. Same thing on the little one here. Gave you just enough to snip right in half. This one can go a little further and split. There we go. So lastly, we're just going to add some of these beautiful fern-like leaves all around to create that mist. Push these in a little bit. And if you're noticing my little sentiment here, Gotcha Day. For all of you who know about adoption, we also celebrate not only birthdays, but the Gotcha Day, the day that we were blessed with. For us, our 2 granddaughters are adopted. And so we celebrate their Gotcha Days besides their birthdays. But we also celebrate, we've got the 3 cats, and for people who know me on live, know it's Harper and Zuzu and Clara. They're rescue cats, and we celebrate their Gotcha Day. So it's just a nice way to really honor that day and make it special. So we've got a happy Gotcha Day. Now all I have to do is grab my little ladybug here. Put her down. See if I've got some glue. Yeah, that's probably enough. Put her right up in here. You see, the white ones were just tipped with a little bit of pink. I did that with the V1.1, just a light color just to edge it out a bit. And there you go. That's Love in the Mist and the Poet's Garden. I hope you enjoy it.